Fuse Show, the Drew and Fuse Show, the Drew and Fuse Show. They clean up nicely. It's the Drew and Fuse Show, the Drew and Fuse Show, the Drew and Fuse Show. Yeah, they clean up nicely. Yeah.
What's up? What's up? How you doing?
Chilling, man. Just got off of a long drone session. I've been flying drones in clubs lately, so just
Dude, that's crazy. That's what I do.
hectic.
I fly drones in clubs.
No,
You know?
you do that?
Yeah, you know all that sick footage I get on the gram? It's drone footage. I not only do I DJ, I talk on the mic, I control the lights, I hit the CO2, I fly multiple drones. And did I say I DJ? All of that can
but
be yours for the price of $19.99. That's right.
but I think it
Hit
could
me
be
up.
really dope, though. Could be really, really dope. What if you use the phase to control the drone, right? So it's just like spinning, like as you scratch, it starts going right.
No, it's just drones flying in circles, and I have to like, play with the controller to like adjust the tempo to like make the drone spin a little faster or slower. Anyway, for all you guys listening, I am Fusemania. This is
My name is Drew Pierce, professional drone flyer from Long Beach, California.
Yeah, I'm from Cincinnati. We started this professional drone flying company together. Coming up on a year, it's been. We have a couple special shout outs. One, we got to give a shout out to the Photo Booth Supply Co. That, if you're in the market for a new photo booth, they'll get you covered. They got the chips and salsa booth and the chips and guac booth. So we have an affiliate link in our YouTube description that will not do anything for you, but
I'll send you a
that's
shirt.
right. That's right. Drew will send you a shirt if you buy one. We also have DMS promo code. The promo code is the Drew and Fuse Show. It'll save you 30% off your first month at DMS. So if you're not over on DMS yet, go check it out. Promise you'll love it. Lots of exclusive edits from myself, from Drew, Saber, Simo, Diggs, Scooter, tons of great Pete Down. I know I'm forgetting people, but tons of great editors. Also,
that's directmusicservice.com if you guys are familiar. I know we use the acronym, I guess, right? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
We use that freely, but directmusicservice.com. Check it out.
Also, we are not sponsored by Liquid Death still. So shout out to all the DJs that have been tagging, drinking their Liquid Death.
I already opened mine. Sorry.
That's all right. I got that open in. That have been tagging us, drinking the Liquid Death, hounding Liquid Death. Yeah, to sponsor us. We appreciate it. And we also have one more sponsorship, and Drew's going to talk about that a little bit because he used it this weekend.
Our buddies Club Cannon. Man, I had a wedding on Saturday. I had multiple weddings. We're going to talk about that here momentarily. But one of the weddings that I had, it was outside and I was playing with the drummer and they just had money to spend and they said, "What else can we get?" And I said, if you're just looking to spend money, honestly, the Club Cannon is the best for your best bang for your buck. It's what's going to wow the crowd. It's going to be great for pictures. It's going to just be that special moment. At the end of it, he goes, "You guys should just bring that out every time." He's like, "That was the best thing I ever spent any money on." So I brought out 2 50-pound tanks, and the bride and the groom just were going crazy for it. It was definitely very picturesque. I highly recommend it. It just took the party to a new level. So clubcannon.com, just mention Drew and Fuse.
Like I said before too, we use the Club Cannon gear at my club. If you're playing at a bar or club and you're looking to something kind of elevate your effects and lighting, it's a great thing to add. It really does help, and it's cool when it's hot out. You get that nice little cool blast too, so that helps as well. But moving forward, we'll just talk about our weekends a little bit. I had a pretty normal weekend for myself. I did the bar here on Friday night. There was a big concert here in town. Call it the Cincinnati Music Festival. It happens once a year at Paul Brown Stadium where the Bengals play. And as I'm sure all you guys know, because you listen to the podcast all the time, the bar I play at is between the Reds and the Bengals Stadium. So it was a little wild weekend here in Cincinnati on the banks.
And what bands are playing in this concert? What is this even about?
This one is a lot of R&B.
New R&B,
And
old R&B?
no, it's old. Like they had like Janet Jackson and I'm trying to think Fantasia.
Were there any
Uh,
nip slips during this one?
I don't know. Probably not. But Janet Jackson usually is good for a nip slip or two. Uh,
I just
uh,
watched a documentary on her recently, and they did her dirty. I mean, it's an interesting watch. JT just kind of, was all excited to play with her, and then just kind of left her hanging and just tried to clean it up and walk away. And yeah, it was a little weird, but it's a good documentary. I'd recommend
yeah.
watching it.
The other artists were Charlie Wilson, Anthony Hamilton, Tony, Jonathan Butler, the OJs. I'm missing a couple, but those are the ones. Those are the ones that I can think of. So, yeah, it's craziness. There's also a Reds game in town, so you had this going on over at the Bengal Stadium. You had a Reds game on the other end, and just traffic everywhere. And yeah, the bar was busy Friday night. We had a good time. Saturday, I did the club, and the club is actually on the opposite end of the football stadium. So they actually used the parking lot there to park for these concerts that are at Paul Brown, the football stadium. So kind of little craziness for the regular club goers. And I was kind of expecting a slow night there, but once you kind of have your crowd, a dedicated crowd, they find their way there no matter what. And we still had a pretty good night in there. And then I also forgot to
You know,
mention I did another gig Saturday during the day too for like an open house for a t-shirt company. I just played like background music for that, but that was my weekend. So I know you're gonna say something.
I just wanted to add in on the Janet Jackson, but I'm fascinated about this T-shirt thing. Janet Jackson. So my daughter's in dance now, and their whole routine is Rhythm Nation. And I
Mhm.
listened back to that song. The first 2 minutes is amazing, and then it's just kind of her like freestyling afterwards. Kind of falls apart a little bit, but there's Janet has some bangers, bro.
Yeah.
You
The song that I play, it's kind of a sleeper, is the Shaggy Love Me, and Janet Jackson's on that one. I play
Play
that
that
one
all the
sometimes.
time. That
Yeah.
one's still a
So
go-to. I actually had to relabel it in my Serato to Mr. Lava Lava because I never could remember the other one.
and it's spelled weird. They spell love LUV. So
Yeah.
like if you're searching it, you have to search it for that way. And
So that
sometimes
late 2000s with the sexy back and promiscuous girl, she had Feedback. Remember that song? It's like
um
115. It used to crush, dude.
feedback. I know I just can't think of it. Like I can't hear it right now, but I know what you're talking about. Like I remember the title.
That could go back in your 2000s pop sets.
All for
Be in it.
You. Sometimes that's the other Janet Jackson
Oh,
song.
that's a banger. That's a newer one, but she has some good ones. I mean, Go Deep. I just re-edited that one with a hook first. She has one with Beanie Man. Kind of just depends on the party that you're doing. But I love Pleasure Principle. I love Escape. I honestly have a ton of Janet that I just need to start playing more.
Just before we moved to your weekend, yeah, I did that t-shirt shop thing. It was
Yeah, tell
cool.
me about that.
So a friend of mine was in a fraternity, and it was like a friend of a friend type gig. Basically, this guy owns a t-shirt shop, and they do lots of prints for like other companies and stuff. But he has two of his own like clothing lines he's pushing. One's called LFG Cincy. They kind of make like t-shirts for sporting events and stuff. They take like pop culture stuff and slap a Cincinnati on it somehow, without trying to get popped, but
I think that's something we need to do before someone else rips us off. I think we need to get Cincinnati, Drew Infused somehow just like some flip with a
Yeah.
some Long Beach
You,
flips.
you think people would rip us off?
I mean, no,
I don't think so. I
I
don't
don't
think
think
so.
so. We're
Maybe I'm
original.
naive. I
DJs don't rip other DJs off. They respect it.
But so tell me, how was your weekend? What did you do? You had a busy weekend. It started earlier in the week.
By the way, we recording this the day before it drops, but I literally just landed. I haven't slept, so we'll walk through the life of a travel DJ. Yeah, I just had some friends in town this week, and then Thursday we actually went to Santa Monica and went to go check out Graham Funky at the bungalow in Santa Monica. It was super dope. He killed it. His programming is just absolutely amazing. He's captains of the industry. If you guys don't know, make sure you give him a follow. Super impressive. Then Saturday, I had this giant wedding. It was in San Juan Capistrano, and they own a wine. The whole family owns a wine company. I don't know if I could shout it out, but they
You
own a
think
wine.
they're like Lucy, like the I Love Lucy show? They're just like standing in a barrel of grapes, smashing it with their feet. Like that's what they do every day of the week. That's their job.
If it allotted me to have this house, my feet would be purple.
Anytime
'Cause
somebody says winery, I just think of I Love Lucy and her smashing them grapes.
dude, so they have like a quote unquote family house, and I don't know if it's like a vacation home or what it is, but the groom was the fifth youngest. So he's working his way up in the company and crushing it apparently. Like I said with the earlier, they wanted to upgrade the club cannons and the whole bit. But this house was amazing. It just was a motherfucker of a load. So we had to go up the hill, all the way down, load in. It's like dirt where this area is. So shout out DJ Pink. She came and helped me out. She's was amazing. Very, I couldn't have even done it the whole event without her. So we did ceremony, and we had a drummer DJ duo with two 50-pound CO2 tanks. Which DJs, when you go to get these tanks, and I know it's definitely a regional thing, I have aluminum tanks and not the steel tanks. Big difference when you're trying to carry them or move them. The steel tanks are fucking just impossible to move. So at least the aluminum tanks are movable. And then we had a full nother setup upstairs, up in this. It was like multiple level because it was on a hill. So multiple level. So we had another full setup upstairs with so I had an SRT upstairs and I had the Rev 7 downstairs. It was fun. They raged. It was cool. D Rock Drums is who I played with. I've been playing with him in Vegas since dating back to 2011. He knows how to just, go with it, read what I'm doing. I can kind of signal, hey, I'm going to drop the tempo, and he'll just do fills and come back in, and it's really good. I would like to maybe prep out specific, little sets or segments. Have you ever played with a musician before?
Yeah. It can be tough if they aren't very good. I don't mean to say it like that, but if they don't know what they're doing, it can be tough. And you can instantly tell somebody who gets it from like somebody who doesn't. So I kind of know what you mean already.
He
Yeah.
gets it. He's dope. It's just I feel like I don't play as good because which, that's what they paid for, right? So you're allowing that to breathe. It's just a different performance. So I take a
Yeah.
step back, right?
I
It's
get what you
not,
mean.
but it's not my sporadic wild and crazy set as usual. So, but it does add so much oomph and so much power, and it is bring a live experience. And I noticed the parents on the dance floor just watching. They're just like, "What's happening? This is cool." And it's something about that live performance that the older folks are used to seeing a band, right? So
Mhm.
it brings that fun back to them. But like I said, Club Cannon was a big hit. Just set it up the way you got to set it up. You got to bring a big song into it, bring a big moment. They had picked levels. They liked a lot of house and pop, so we went in with that. Man, they just went crazy. It was fun. So I got like two and a half, 3 songs in. You could separate it a little bit, but I think the picture came out pretty dope. That was amazing. Two of the cannons that you can get. Definitely recommend getting the case. You can store the hoses in it. It's makes just traveling a lot easier. From there, I went home and I got way too sunburned because I'm albino, and went straight to bed and woke up. Took the first flight out or second flight out to Florida and flew all day. Got in and had a Monday wedding, and this was the bride and groom had a famous family member, and so they were just wanted to keep everything super hush, and it was interesting. Florida weather in July is definitely humid, you know.
Yeah.
Not sure that I'd recommend an outside wedding in Florida. Right? Are you with me?
Dude,
Since
there's a
how's
lot that
Cincy?
I'm already interested in because let's say like I have a famous family member, so what? I'm supposed to go out of my way on my wedding day for you? It doesn't that kind of defeat the purpose of the wedding, the big day for the couple? I don't know. That's just a side thought.
So
So
what do?
continue,
You just don't
continue.
invite that famous family member?
No, they got to suck it up. They're the ones that are famous, they have to suck it up for the event, I think.
Yeah.
You can be respectful a little bit, but like,
No, they were. Actually, I think they took a back seat to what the couple wanted.
mhm,
But people are interesting. Anytime there's someone famous, someone's always gonna just draw the attention. Thankfully, I didn't know who this person was until afterwards. So that was a benefit for me because I'm like, hey, just another person. I don't same deal. And
you're telling
funny,
me if Flash Gordon was at your wedding, you wouldn't be stoked and like, oh my God, Flash.
Flash Gordon. Now, is this the '70s Flash Gordon, or is
This
this
makes me think
this
of Ted.
is this 2022 Flash Gordon?
Oh, definitely 1970s Flash Gordon. I couldn't
Uh,
even tell you who 2022 Flash Gordon is. I'd be
yeah, I
like, I
don't.
don't know who that is.
He's wrinkled in the corner. um, yeah, dude. I don't know. It was dope. It was. Thankfully I didn't know. Again, thankfully I didn't know, and you just treat every client the same. And
Yeah.
we went in. The humidity was definitely not tight. The setup was gorgeous. It was absolutely incredible. It was a beautiful wedding. And at one moment there was a bunch of kids. Now, if we've all DJ'd weddings, right? We know kids at weddings are just awful, right? They're
Hmm.
I mean, luckily for you, you don't deal with that at bars or any of that stuff. But kids at weddings are, you know, they like to destroy everything.
Kids anywhere like to destroy everything. They
you
just
know, if I was gonna say my one word curse word, it would probably be kids, right?
look at that kid. You got to say it with some like, look at that kid. Like you got to say it like you're pissed.
So, to entertain the kids are drawing on the dance floor, which
Wait, wait,
was
wait, wait. They're drawing on the dance floor.
yeah,
Like
they had
you have like a brought in dance floor there. Like, like some
brought
production team set up a dance floor and these kids are
brought in
drawing on it.
all white dance floor, and like
Are they
any
dry
respect
erase markers? Or like what? Sharpies?
I mean, I'm hoping so. I'm guessing you don't give a Sharpie to a kid, but
It wasn't your
you know,
dance floor, was it?
no,
Okay,
no.
okay, that's good.
But like any respectable parent, you go do anything that isn't bothering me. So, you let them go draw. And they're they're drawing on the dance floor. And finally, the coordinator sees it. She's like, "Oh, dude, no!" And she grabs all the markers and mops it all up because she's the one that signed for it. So she's
Yeah.
freaking out, like, "This is expensive AF. I definitely am not going down with this tab." So that was a first. And then they,
Well, how are their skills? Were the drawings good? Did
I,
it add to the value of the wedding, would you say? Like this now new street art on the dance floor?
I took one of the tiles and I said, "This is mine. Now you guys can just dance on grass around the one tile because this one's mine." Nah,
It's like a Banksy where like somebody's like, "Let me buy your house right now. I'm buying this dance floor."
let me buy this dance floor tile. Uh, no, it was dope. It was definitely funny. And then bam, it was just a dance party the rest of the night. And smaller weddings, dude, it's definitely a tug of war because you're playing the couples and their best friends, and then you're also trying to keep the parents and other people happy. So it is a little bit of a tug of war, and you just gotta be mixing quick. So I know on this that past Cleveland Terry episode we talked about the older DJs still loving to play full 5-minute songs. Well, you cannot do that. If it flops, just get out of it.
There's something to be said for letting a song breathe every once in a while, but for the most part, yeah, especially in situations like that. And that kind of brings me to something I want to talk about. We wanted to talk about today, which is kind of gaining the crowd's trust and the difference between if you don't have the crowd's trust and you do have the crowd's trust, and what you can and can't do in terms of uh, for the party.
I would say for this one specifically, I just come out swinging. Every wedding, I try and just burn myself into the ground. It's just every big song, you just come out swinging, and I would say the first 10 to 20 minutes, you just think of it as writing a paper. That first intro, that you're basically writing your paper. Hey, I'm going to be playing old, new, this, this, and this, all within that first intro paragraph. And then you go from there. So that intro
Mhm.
paragraph is we're going to do hip hop, we're going to do pop, we're going to do oldies, disco, and just make it all work. And then bam, they trust you. They're like, oh, okay, he at least knows what he's doing. We're solving fun, and we can go from there.
Totally. I think it's a important thing, and you can kind of tell, I think, how long a DJ's been DJing just by kind of what they do, kind of with that. You know, you might be DJing some nights and be like, but how come I see this guy play this song and it works for him, but I try to play this song and it doesn't work for me? And the answer is probably because you don't have the crowd's trust and you're forcing it versus letting it be played kind of at a time where it naturally would fit better. This same thing works for goes for, I should say, for, you know, events and weddings as well as bars and clubs. You have to work to kind of gain the crowd's trust. And what I kind of mean by that is, you got to kind of get everybody on the same page. And, once you kind of like everybody's like, oh, this guy knows what he's doing and everybody's rocking, then you can kind of take a little more chances with your music versus, um, having to play more straight and narrow.
And
Wouldn't you
and how do
agree?
you come out of the gate? How do you set this off? And now, obviously, a bar is rotating constantly, right? So,
Yeah,
even though you get their trust, you're gaining their trust for at least the first 2 hours. So 10 to 11:30, you're gaining their trust. So how
yeah,
do
I
you
think
how do you go
I
from
think
there?
there's a couple of different ways. One, there's a couple different situations you usually come into at like a bar or a club. One is that there's nobody there when you start and you're playing, and then the room kind of fills in. And I think the way to do it with that is you have to play background music if there's nobody there. You have to play just as comfortable at a volume level and at music selection wise that they would be just as comfortable as if there was no DJ there at all. In fact, you should be wanting to do that and you should be wanting to like add more of a vibe to it. Be like, keep it vibey. And then slowly, kind of as more people trickle in, you kind of progress the energy up and up and up. And then, you're going to start mixing in some newer songs in there while the energy is going up. And then finally, 20 minutes of that, you're going to be like, oh, it's a dance party in here now. The other thing I think that happens, when you play at bars or clubs is that you either somebody opened, or in my case, we have sometimes musicians before I play, and it'll be busy in there, and then I start. So the energy is already at a 10. You kind of just have to, like you said, come out of the gate swinging a little bit. And I would compare this to the start of the wedding a little bit as the same, where you're going to just play some hits, play some stuff that people are going to dance to. You might burn a couple quote unquote peak hour songs in there, but if you do it and you do it the right way, it's going to allow you to get away with more stuff, spreading out your music through, a couple hours or however many hours it might be.
So peak hour for you is starting the Bad Bunny record and then walking away. To quote DJ Faze, putting the Bad Bunny record on, going and taking a shit, and letting it play the whole way through, and then
Yeah.
coming back to DJ.
In fact, I think peak hour is the most when you can play like 10 Bad Bunny songs in a row. And I highly recommend doing that at any bar or venue. And then tag me on social media as well and let me know how it works.
Make sure they're conga lining. Now, in Cincy, am I naive? Is Bad Bunny still is as prevalent or not as crazy?
I get at least a couple Bad Bunny phones a night. So I get a couple of these a night with play Bad Bunny. And then, I would say the couple of like the big songs work. And I haven't really been playing much of the new ones to know like which, to be honest, of like which of the new ones like hit at all, because the crowd is a little more behind here in Cincinnati. It's just Midwest. So they don't like, it took a little bit longer here for like Peppa's to hit than it probably did out west, in New York City or Miami. It just kind of is that. Sometimes, and we've talked about this before, where a new song will come out and I'll play it and I'll be like, flop. And then I don't go back to it, and like 6 months later, I'm like, oh, it works. I was playing it early on and it didn't work. So the Bad Bunny probably isn't as big here as it is out by you or down south, but we got some
No, I'm
Bad
just
Bunny
curious. I'm some bunniers,
some
bunnies.
bonies.
Baboni.
Yeah.
No, we're actually going to be playing together here coming up in August 18th in San Diego
That's
at
right.
American Junkie.
San Diego. Yeah.
Mark your calendars. Anybody that wants to come through California. So Fuse is talking about setting the tone and taking your time and building. Well, when we go back and forth, that's unacceptable. I just want to burn them into the ground. And I'm like, oh, that sounds fun. Let me see how many songs I can fit in my 30-minute set.
And that's pretty much what we did the last time. And it ended up being pretty fun.
It's no holds bar. And I've been playing that way the last couple times that I've played down there, of roller coaster taking off from the starting gate. Just here we go. If it's going to work right this second, cool. There it is. And I'll figure it out down the road. And I feel once 12:31 hits, man, they ain't going nowhere. As long as that energy is hot, they don't give a fuck what it is, if it's a big song or not. So I've just been trying to keep that momentum of just hammering it hard for
same
250, 300 songs.
I'm a little different too, because if I'm playing at a venue that is okay with a lot of hip hop, I always feel like I can play all the pop and the poppy hip hop and all the house. And then once I get to that last hour, I can just play a solid hip hop set of like an hour's worth of songs that are just like quick hits, like hit, that I can keep the night going like super well. And I actually like doing that, because I think once it gets to that like 1 a.m. point, people are over the jumping up and down and they'd rather just hit the hip hop songs. But that's me, and that's kind of my style of DJing too. So
and this is why I like going back to back, is because again, no rules. Here we go. You're going to burn me. I'm going to burn you. And then it puts you out of your comfort zone. You're like, fuck, there goes half of what I would normally play.
I don't intend on drinking that much this time.
No, definitely not. No shots, dude. No shots.
You don't have to take them, but I will. But I also know. I know.
You do that.
No shots for you. I'll get you a claw and you'll be fine.
Yeah.
1 claw per hour.
Maybe 2 per hour.
2 per hour. All right. The other thing I wanted to say is I'm going to Ireland. I can't still really say on the podcast why, but I'm going to be in Ireland in September. And if we know any DJs in Ireland, please hit me up because, or if you know somebody and you listen to the show and you know somebody there, let me know. I would love to just make a contact and not even to play, just to go hang or, you know, maybe a good recommendation of where to go. I've been to Ireland before. I've been all over the island in Northern Ireland, and I just kind of want to see some different stuff this time. And yeah, so if you guys know of anybody, please let me know. But getting back to what Drew was saying, yeah, I'm gonna be out in California that week of in August, and we might do a little a DJ meetup. I'm not sure yet. We haven't decided on the full details, so you're gonna have to be keep listening to the show because we might announce some details of that on here.
And as it stands, we're not going to DJ Expo. I know we're bummed about it. That being said, prices did just drop today. So if you could convince us on the YOLO
Or you get us a
line,
sponsorship.
hit him with the YOLO line.
Yeah. If you guys want to convince us to do anything, give us a drunk dial. All you have to do is dial 562-246 YOLO, 562-246 YOLO, and we'll answer any questions, whether it's publicly on the show if we think it's a good enough question to where more people might be interested. We might DM you privately with an answer, or we might play your voicemail that you leave too. If it's as good as DJ Commands that called about DJ Dumband.
On top of that, we Fuse is coming and we're going to be shooting a ton of content. So with that content's going to be me flying drones on how I fly drones in clubs. That's going to be one of the topics we're going to talk about. We're going to go through setting cue points, and we're just going to be doing tons of content. So if you have something that you want to know about, hit the YOLO line, slide into our DMs. We are going to be making content for a full week straight. We want to know what you want to hear about. So DM us and we'll make sure to get that. So even any of our past guests, we have some collabs coming. So if you had a favorite past guest, let us know if you want them to talk a little bit more about that, and we'll bring them back on.
Totally. And like one of the things, just to give an example, is we did a video on the YouTube with Simo of just how to use smart crates with Serato. And we're going to be doing lots of little content videos like that. So if there's anything that you would want to know, or just want to know our process on things too, that's fine. We'll do it up. We're looking for some suggestions. We always like hearing the input of what you guys think and what you think might be interesting or useful. So yeah, definitely hit that YOLO line, 562-246 YOLO, and let us know. Also, you can slide into those DMs and let us know there too. We appreciate all that. We appreciate you guys listening and tagging us. It's fun for us to pop over to the DAF's account and see new messages or new stuff in the inbox.
Dude,
it's rewarding for us.
The conga line, the fact that that's still going is just the most amazing thing. And then the 3 times, I hope it never ends, because I played it this weekend because I go, oh, okay, it works for everyone else. Flop. Fuck that song. Still sucks.
Hilarious. Are you playing it the different way though this time now too?
Yeah. Donk
not...
did an edit. The Donk edit that's on DMS. That's the one that I play. And whack.
That's the one I usually play. I sometimes play that HMC bootleg of it, but those are the only two that I really play. Speaking of, this is a good time to we're going to talk some new music. So I'm going to play this little segment video and we'll get into some new music that we're into.
Hello, this is Bond. James Bond. Drew and Fuse, I think it's about time we talk about music. Personally, I like to listen to grown and sexy smooth jazz with my favorite girl, Pussy Galore. Now make me a cold martini, shaken, not stirred, and break down your top music.
All right. Thank you, Sean Connery, for that great introduction. We appreciate you calling in from the grave.
I forgot to do my homework on this, but I got some
That's
ideas.
okay. It's okay. The first one, I'll go first, and the first one I want to talk about is one that we were kind of discussing a little bit on Friday, which is that new T-Pain track, which is called Blue. Yes, it is exactly what you probably are thinking. It's T-Pain and Softest Hard, and they did a little like revive. I don't know what it rip off of the Eiffel 65 Blue. It's really interesting to me.
I'm
You kinda-
blue. If I was green, I would die. If I was
yes.
green, I would die.
Fortunately, YouTube hates fun, so we've had to bleep this out. Now you get to hear me talking, and you get to hear me singing what T-Pain would sound like. I'm blue, off a green, off a die, up and D, up and die. Green, green is my color. Blue is a good song. I like T-Pain's version a lot. Keep singing, tune in every week. Fortunately, YouTube hates fun, so we've had to bleep this out.
I kind of
love
like
that
it.
it's hooks and drops only.
Yeah, it's literally hooks and drops only. I kind of like it. Digital Dave already hates it. He messaged me letting me know that, and that's fine. He can hate it. I kind of like it because everybody's ripping off everybody right now, from the like late '90s, early 2000s. But T-Pain manages to kind of do something that's kind of fitting for his voice, and staying true to what he always says of being different, in terms of like, everybody's going with that tech housey sound, and he kind of didn't go with that. I kind of like it for that reason. I also think that, it's hard to play songs that are new that come out right away, but I think that, and I meant to play it this weekend and I didn't, only because I forgot. I think I could probably make it work in my set right away. So there's that. What do you think about that one?
Everyone loves T-Pain, and let's be honest, the next single is going to be Share Believe. Believe in love after love. That's going to be T-Pain's next single.
One can only hope. Maybe they'll
Um,
ask you to do the hook on that one.
Oh man, I think I could nail that one. I got a song here. I did do a little bit of research. I lied. It's called Ocean Drive. Sean Kingston with Chris Brown. It's kind of a little reggae vibe.
Okay.
It's an opening track. Ain't gonna lie to you.
Okay. My other one that I would like to mention, we got this in our submissions folder, which is funny because you never know sometimes who hits the submissions folder. And it was the Drake. It's the Drake, one of the songs off Drake's new album. It's massive, and it's the Paul Oakenfold remix. We just got that in our submissions folder this past week, and it just went up on DMS. I'm a big fan of that like garage house sound. It's probably my favorite actual sound because it's kind of grimy and like, I don't know. I just like that. To me, it's like the punk rock of house, I would say. And dubstep is the dude rock. If in case you were wondering, dubstep is the dude rock, where it's like you go to the show and you won't see a girl in the crowd. Now, with that said, there are plenty of girls that like dubstep. It's just my opinion. Okay, so
No, what you're looking for is how many girls. What you're trying to count is how many girls have Skrillex hair.
Skrillex haircuts are a thing still. That's for sure. But yeah, the Paul Oakenfold remix of Drake, massive. I really like just that one. I like kind of that it kind of changes the song a little bit and makes it a little more aggressive-y sounding. So that's my number 2 for today.
Please listen to the podcast for the audio versions. YouTube is a fun hater. But this song is massive, massive, massive. This song is massive. If you want to hear the full song, go to a podcast or download it on DMS. Podcast, download, massive.
I'm gonna go hip hop. is Megan Thee Stallion Pressurelicious featuring Future.
Pressurelicious stop. Pressurelicious stop. Girl is pressurelicious. 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 You're so pressurelicious. It's so pressurelicious. It's so pressurelicious. It's so pressurelicious.
I'm gonna have to check that one out more. Let's see if I can work it in the way I like to play. Speaking of new Drake albums still, which every DJ loves to hate, I just think every DJ hates everything in general. They hate their life. They hate music. They hate the crowd. They hate waking up every morning. It's just kind of the vibes I get when I look on Twitter. So I'm gonna go with another song from the Drake album, and it's "Sticky." And I really liked that track too. I liked the original,
Not
but Simo,
Jimmy Cook. Not Jimmy Cook.
you know, it feels like they threw the Jimmy Cook song on there. Like that whole album is like a concept album. Like it's just a house concept album, and then they're like, "Oh, here, let's throw this song on there." Like, kind of, in my opinion. But I really like the Sticky song. And then Simo posted some edits on DMS, and it's the Big Z remix. I really like that. Like, I think that in the right crowd, the right room, that would be like the remix I would play.
I want that sticky icky, sticky icky. It's super sticky icky, sticky. It's super sticky icky, super sticky. Sticky icky 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 icky, sticky 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 icky 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 icky, sticky icky icky icky. Sticky icky 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 icky, sticky 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 icky 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 icky, sticky icky icky icky. Sticky icky 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 icky, sticky 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 sticky.
You know, I got to play probably, it's probably more of like a bottle service. If you're playing house in a bottle service club, that's kind of what I mean. That's where I would be playing that one. But I really like that version. I like that. And specifically where he plays it at is more of a bottle service, cool kid crowd. Because Simon and I talk all the time. He plays it there, and it totally makes sense to me. But that's my third pick.
Again, I wish I would have researched this a little bit better. Let's see. There's a bunch of good ones on DMS. All right, I'm gonna go with this one. Bob Sinclair, World Hold On, the Fisher remix.
World, hold on. Set him past a whole future. You might see no matter how. Hold on, hold on. World, hold on. Have a tight grip. Hold on with the tight grip. World, hold on. Have a tight grip. Hold on with the tight grip. World, hold on. Have a tight grip.
And this one's not new. I this is a couple weeks old, but I'm gonna say this one too. Side Piece and Lee Foss, the 1-2 step remix. You know,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
a very similar to Do It To It, but
Yeah.
you know, it just goes right in that set and instantly
is-
memorable. And I like that one a lot.
Jazzy Fizzle products Jizzle. 1-2 step. Step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
There's another cool edit that I've been playing, and I've kind of been, when I've been playing it, I've been forcefully playing it a little bit when I'm playing some up-tempo house, but I really, really like it. I got it off HMC. It's the squared club edit, Dr. Fresh Gold Dust, and it's the Martin Horger 2022 remix.
Love the color gold. Goldfinger blowing some gold dust. Gold is my color. Color is gold. If you don't like gold, I don't know who you are, because gold is really expensive and delicious. Gold dust for life. Gold dust for life. Gold dust.
Dude, first off, that Gold Dust track was like huge when it came out, and I like the way that it kind of is like nostalgically throwback from like 2010 and EDM era dubstep dude rock days. I like the way it fits in. It fits in good in that set right now for me.
All right.
Like I said, I'm forcefully playing it a little bit. You know, you can tell the crowd's kind of like, you know, but I like it.
But
so
they
I play
trust
it.
you, like you said,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
You've already
Yes.
built them
Yeah.
up. You got the trust. You're able to get in a couple here and there.
Mm-hmm.
So
Totally.
I feel-
Is there any an honorable mention right now? You got anything?
honorable mention. I do have an honorable mention. So I don't know if you guys go on Spotify as much as I do. they have a section under new tracks, and it's called Release Radar, and that Release Radar is your stuff. So it's kind of based off something you would play. So let's see here. I have a bunch of reggae in here, but
Yeah, I was gonna say
one of
mine would be like wouldn't even work for anything, but
there's let's see, this one caught my ear. Is What Me Worry, the A-Track remix. It's Portugal the Man and A-Track.
What, me worry? Stop. Stop it. Just stop it. Stop it. Stop. I'm not worrying.
oh, you know what I was gonna say is that Tiesto made that remix of Cherub, the Dosas and Mimosas. Dude, it's
All right.
almost like that song is bigger now than it was when it
Doses with mimosas. Getting turned, getting lit. Tiesto is my DJ in the background of the festival on Doses. Doses with mimosas. Getting turned, getting lit. Tiesto.
came out. I'm playing that song like every night at the bar. I don't play the original. I don't play the Tiesto. I play a version I made that it's just a personal edit. And I think it has some of the parts of one of the remixes that was on Spotify. Let me see if I can find the name of the.
So when I saw Graham play the Bungalow, that was one of the biggest. That was, I wouldn't say of the night at all, but it was a big song.
Yeah, it's huge right now.
I was with a couple DJs and they were like, "What's this?" I said, "First off, you guys are sleeping if you don't know, but this song's huge."
Oh, the Vintage Culture remix is like so I have an edit and it goes into like
It's on
kind of
DMS.
just the chorus.
Fuse bootleg.
Well, I made a bootleg of it recently, but the Vintage Culture, like I have a personal edit that I play. I just made a bootleg to make a bootleg for the site, because as an editor, sometimes that's our job to make bootlegs for the site for other people. And then, a lot of times I keep a different version for myself. And that's
Shady
what I'm
fool. Shady.
talking about. But yeah, that's a track that I think depends on where you're playing. Could you play it later in the night? I like playing it, kind of earlier in the night as the dance floors, getting started a little bit. That's kind of
Since
how I
I'm
like
a
playing
ripoff artist, could I rip you off?
it. Yeah, rip me off, bro. Just don't fly as many drones as me. All right.
For all of you DJs that are wondering what the drone joke is we highlighted the 360 camera 100 times on the show. We're super excited, and we think every DJ should own one of those. But I think Fuse gets a DM hourly on, "Hey man, what camera is that?" And it's become a running joke.
Yeah.
So if you like Fuse's videos, it is a 360 camera, Insta 360 X2. Make sure you get the right stand for it, aka a
Rip
drone.
me off. Rip me off. Post the same videos as I do. It'll be cool.
Can I send it to you to edit it for me?
Yeah, it's really simple. No, I don't care if people ask me. Drew and I have the same sense of humor, so we can make fun of anything, and we could make fun of ourselves. So I really don't mind if people ask me 1,000 times what it is. That means you're interested in it, and that makes me happy. But if you are listening to the show, you probably already know because you're an avid listener of what the camera is. I use it all the time. I pop it up at my gigs I try to do it at least for like a minute at each one. And sometimes I don't post them because sometimes that minute I popped it up, like just nothing good happened, so it doesn't.
Well, I just put it up, I leave it, and then when I know a big moment's going to happen, like I play 3 times.
Yeah.
I hit record on it, and then nothing, like
The
you said,
drones
nothing
go.
happens.
The
The
drones
drones
go out.
fly up. And so it's based off of like when I move the pitch up and down and how phase works. So phase is
How does
running
it
the propellers. Phase
yeah,
runs
yeah.
the propellers, right? And then if I want it to go left or right is the pitch.
How does it feel being a licensed drone operator? Do you want me to start calling you Maverick?
You know, our mutual friend Jason Henniger actually is
Mhm.
a licensed drone operator.
Dang, that's big time.
Yeah, he does big commercial buildings. So
That's
maybe
pretty
that's
cool.
a question we need to ask him when he's going to start flying into our clubs.
Hey, flying into a club near you.
All right, I think that's it.
If that's it for today, once again, we just want to reiterate some of our sponsors. We got the salsa booth, photo booth supply, and we got the affiliate link in the description of our YouTube videos. We have the DMS promo code that'll get you 30% off your first month at DMS. Also, we are not sponsored by Liquid Death, so keep tagging us and doing all that. Also, we have our Club Cannon, and if you order something from there, just make sure you tell them that we sent you over there. So yeah, those are our sponsors. Again, we appreciate all the guys that tag and listen to the show and tag us on Instagram and that are doing the conga line challenge and even the
Low
flow
challenge.
ride, the low. Yeah, when everybody goes low, 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 and your grandma's like about to fall on the floor. Like, we appreciate those tags too. We actually think it's quite hilarious seeing them all and the random conga lines and everything. There was one the other day, I forget who posted it, but like it was like this conga line and everybody was so happy, and there was like this little kid was like the next in the line in the video, and he was like so upset that he was in this I was dying laughing. I
So
forget who
sad.
sent that one in, but yeah. So anyway, yeah, that's gonna wrap it up for today. Once
Wait,
go for it.
wait. YOLO line one more time.
Oh, and yeah, so don't forget to also hit the YOLO line 562-246 YOLO and
Tell
leave
us
a
why
voicemail.
we need to be going to DJ Expo, and if you're
Yes.
paying for us,
Yeah.
and if you're gonna meet up with us August 14th through the 18th at some point. We're gonna be doing at least one or two things.
There you have it. So
All right.
all right. Until next time. Peace
Peace.
out. Bye.